Hello, everyone. This is part 2 of my 200 special of What If Deku Was a Halo Spartan. Now, where we left off, we did finish the whole, the first, not exam, the first exam that Aizawa did with the whole class, and yeah. Now, I will be adding, I'll say that for later. Now, we will be adding something in that Deku personally requested. It was in a show series Halo did do, or or I think it was Microsoft or software. I don't know, but it's the Halo themed. They have a certain mech, and if you don't know what I'm saying, the mech with the minigun or rocket launcher, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the guy who was using it in Ghost. He was named Ghost for some reason. Yeah. So yeah, if you don't know who that is, well, watch this Netflix series or go on YouTube and watch it. But yeah, and he has that in there. Yes, it does shoot rubber rounds and a like a rubberized rocket launcher. What do I mean rubberized? When you would shoot it at the rocket, it would blast off obviously, and it would hit the target. But by that time, all the metal that was shot would have come off, and it would just be like a glue, like a gel, to more or less be captured by them. It's a capture weapon. Be fair, and it doesn't have a shield, though it is heavily armored. Now, Deku would have ordered this in by, well, none other than Mei Hatsume, with her taking a liking to the whole Deku designs, but having the whole Master Chief also. So it is fairly armored, and it does have a jetpack. Deku did explain how their jetpacks work because he has to fix his own at some point when they're on a mission, so yeah. And Deku would have, tried to at least fix or look at the mech, though Mei Hatsume said it will be ready when it's ready. And my baby will be ready when it's ready, I should say, to be more exact. Now, Deku would have been baby, and her explaining that whole baby thing. For some reason, I don't understand why she does that. But yeah. And yeah. Now, Deku would have, obviously woken up one day with, what was her name? Natalia beside him, because they are technically dating now. I do believe I made them date. Yeah, I do believe. Also, if you're curious about why am I making Deku happy and regular person, because obviously in Spartans, they're cold, calculating, and they have a terrible sense of humor, aka military sense of humor, how they would cope. Now, I should say, Natalia does help him with that, and it's kind of like if she dies, he's going to be, go John Wick on everyone, I should say. Or at least whoever did that to her. Now, she won't be dying, obviously, but she's like that. Or she's like that to him. But, I'll start the day. Deku obviously getting up with Natalia, them getting fresh, or getting woken up early around 5 and eating, or training and then getting breakfast and all that. Them getting uniforms on and going to school. They would have gone to school and, obviously, as I always said, they're going to the USJ, and you should put on your hero costumes. Deku and Natalia do that with them, putting on their guns, and they are rubber rounds now, but still guns with their blades, and yeah. And yeah, Deku would be in the bus, and them telling war stories to the Class 1A, but also asking about their world, saying, they might know a lot about it, but there's still a couple things that might be different. Yeah. And, Bakugo is curious, and everyone's actually curious. I should say, not just Bakugo. And they do go off, and Deku does explain how they became Spartans. Todoroki or Momo saying that they shouldn't have done that, and it's not heroic at all. Deku just saying we were in the middle of a war, and we weren't really thinking about we were thinking about more surviving than anything. With Todoroki saying that would make sense, seeing humans like to survive through anything. It's what kept us alive. Saying that people sacrifice the few to save the many. Deku saying, yep, that's about it. They would turn some of us into Spartans, or just say, They gathered over 10, I believe it was like 10,000, or I'll just say it's 100,000 people. And out of that 100,000, only 1,000 survived the process of being, well, not experimented on, but, well, enhanced. With a curious, as I was saying, what do you mean enhanced? Deku saying we went through several procedures, and it strengthened our bones, body, physical minds, and sharpened our physical bodies. And the process was very deadly, so it was a, 1%, 1% chance of us getting in. They said it was a 50-50, but as I was talking and saying, they lied to you, right? Him saying yes, and I guess I was just one of the lucky people. With him, and also Natalia was trained with slight lesser enhancements, but sharper mind, you could say. Saying that the, Spartan 3 program, or Spartan 2 program, or no, what did I? Oh, yes, shoot. I made Deku a Spartan 2 and her a Spartan 3. Her saying that he was part of the Spartan 2 program and she was the Spartan 3 program. It is not as enhancive on the whole not cybernetics, the whole enhancements, but they still go through, but it's more or less a 25% chance of you not dying and being enhanced. Because there was time in between those two programs, so they somewhat got the percentage to go up. And I saw it just says, so your world was with Natalia finishing that, a shithole? Him saying, pretty much. And they would have, I would have heard the but to stop, and, he would have said, alright, everyone get out, and they would have gone out. With them going to the USJ, with 13 already being informed that they do have new guests, would have been Deku and Natalia. Now, 13 would have said that to Bakugo, or not to Deku, that his, support item, if you could say that, is here and is ready to go. Deku, saying, alright, I'll go get it. With 13 doing her speech, with Natalia not going with him because, she didn't get one. Though she was kind of like, when do I get one? Him saying, alright, I'll ask May if she can make another one. Her saying, alright. Now this whole suit is, Deku's colors with green and the orange visor instead of the black and, yellow visor. So yeah, kind of like just May did it because it kind of suit his suit. So yeah. Now he would have gone in, but to be found out, Natalia would be already shooting her guns. Him scanning the area and realizing the villain's attacked and the Nomu is out, and crushing Aizawa's arm, which he would have been injured and kicked away. With them all hearing a big which would have been lots of stomping, which would have been Deku. Her saying, you took your time. Him saying, I didn't know there was villains. Why don't you call? Her saying that the comms are down, and proceeds to shoot a villain ahead, knocking him out because those are rubber bullets. But when he does wake up, he's going to have a massive headache. He'll need a lot of Advils. So, yeah. Now, Deku would have, start the fight the Nomu on equal footing. Shiraki being pissed off because that's a piece of technology against something that was made to kill All Might. Him saying, All Might, kill that brat. Him punching Deku. It making a big dent in it, but Deku not caring. Proceeding to shoot his minigun at it. Surprising him having real bullets. Now, why would there be real bullets? May Hatsume accidentally put real bullets in it instead of, fake bullets, or rubber bullets. Why would May Hatsume forget to, or mess this up? You have her exploding technology every single time, and I need plot, so It, being the high-powered, minigun it is, shoots the arm off, the Nomu screaming out in pain. And yeah, Aizawa would have been KO'd and 13 would have been knocked out, so everyone's just like, oh, yeah. Also, they didn't get a description of, it has non-lethal rounds, or anything, or it has non-lethal rounds and stuff like that. And yeah, and Deku has the whole screen of, but the arm does regenerate, and he does scan it again, realizing it is dead, and proceeds to shoot it in lethal spots, like, limbs and the heart, and not doing any effect. And being pissed off, and goes towards it with his rocket launcher in the middle of the face and blows it to King to come. Now, as you do know, well, doesn't that bomb go off and well, take the metal shard or the metal pieces off of it? Well, yes, but if you have it point blank range, it doesn't have enough time to, well, take all those metal pieces off. So, yeah. And Deku didn't per se have the homing feature on it. So, yeah. Now, Deku would have, well, hit the gnome in the face, it making a big, well, hole in it. The gnome falling down. Now the head isn't, well, completely gone, but it is enough to take out the brain. So, yeah. Them being scared and Deku saying it's not alive, and he could have done that. With Momo saying okay, because Momo's there at that point, so yeah. Everyone's there at that point, so yeah. And, well, Shigaraki, damn it, why are you? You cheater, why do you have that blasted thing? You weren't supposed to. Why weren't I told about this? And tells Korigiri to get them out of there. Deku pressing, but the whole heroes to comment, well, Shigaraki still gets shot in the legs, and yeah, but teleported away either way. Them looking at Deku and mech, and all the heroes that they just saw it was a villain, so, well, when the heroes about to hit it, but Deku released the face helmet saying it was him. The heroes stopping their attack and just saying okay. And they do look at the, well, almost headless Nomu, and them asking, did you kill him? Deku saying it was already dead and he can prove it. With one of the heroes saying, alright, but we need to prove it now so we can tell. Deku telling them to get in and scan or look at the history of the scans. And they do, and they realize, oh, this thing was dead, and yeah. Now, Deku would have, well, gone back to Natalia, and Natalia having a slight scar, or having some, well, bruises and cuts on her arms, because, well, her fighting quirk people for the first time, she wasn't fully prepared. Yes, their Spartans are made to adapt, but adapt over time, that's the thing. And yes. But after this fight, she has to adapt to it, and yeah, it was just kind of the first, well, she got hurt badly at the start, but then she got used to it, so yeah. Now, Deku would have, well, taken her back to the outside, him getting his med kit off of his, well, because he does have a med kit always on him, because, well, Spartans, they have to be prepared for every single scenario. And he might not have a complete med kit, but it is enough to, well, put bandages over the cuts and bruises, and yeah. With her just saying thank you, and Deku just saying sure thing, babe. And he did go, well, and they had their helmets off, so him kissing on her on the forehead. With her trying to get out, but realizing her leg did get hurt, so she's kind of limping. Deku proceeding to, well, carry her on his back, and they do go off. Or, you know what? That would be actually not be able to. Him doing her bridal style. Her, well, not being embarrassed of her, well, being women and all that. So no offense to any women, but yeah. And yeah. And afterwards, she would have gone to Recovery Girl, and yeah. And, well, some of the all the bruises were gone, but just now the, well, wounds have gone to scars. Or the cuts and bruises. Or the cuts have gone to scars, so yeah. And they go home and will do their regular training routine, he does let her rest, so Deku's just training alone. Now, why would she be tired? And I understand that Halo Spartans do have a lot of stamina. But let me explain Recovery Girl's quirk. It takes energy from our body, so like how we would play a sport and we would get tired, it uses that energy to heal. It's kind of like it boosts our healing factor, you could say. Nothing like, well, as you know, nothing like, well, Wolverine, but still, it increases our healing to a certain degree. But it uses our own energy to speed the process up. So what I'm saying is, basically, if I were to get a cut on my shoulder, and I would bandage it up, over time, my body would spend energy healing it. But she would more or less gather all that energy up that would have taking a while to gather up and put in that wound, and just make a speed process of it. So Deku was just training while she did watch and have a nice cocoa. Now we would have, skip to the next day with Shoto explaining that there are going to be dorms and does says that, Natalia and, Deku don't have to go, saying they are pretty adept in fighting and they can take care of themselves. Though for all you guys, you do have to go to the dorms. Deku realizing he is but Natalia says we'll stay and we'll come to the dorms. Him saying, "Are you sure?" Her saying, "Yeah." Now they do have an apartment, I understand, or some sort of condo, but I want them to be at the dorms. And Deku would have, start to move his stuff, and being the good boyfriend is, also does his girlfriend's stuff. Her just saying that, I could do it myself. Him saying it's fine, he'll do it. And yeah. It's the least he could do for being late. Her slightly just saying, "Oh, is that so?" Him saying, "Yeah." And it does try seeing his hands rolls. He would have rubbed his back with hair, kind of like shaking it, but with her just saying okay and messing his hair up. Him saying, "Hey." Her just saying, "Oh, come on." Him saying, "Oh, really now?" Starts to put the stuff down and tackles her onto the ground and them facing each other. With Deku proceeding to kiss her and them going to their room. Now, they would have an intimate moment, several moments, for about 2 hours. And they would have gone out with, Natalia barely being able to move. Come on. I have to give Deku some credit. Now, Deku would have start to pack their car, or they pack their little moving van they did, rent for that day, and packs it up. And he just, pick Natalia up, bridal style, and puts her in the front of the car. And she can move, yes, but it's kind of like she just was like, pick up. Him saying, "What? Pick me up." Yeah, kind of the childish thing. So, yeah. Now, Deku would have driven there, and they would unload their stuff. That day where everyone was unloading all their stuff, so, yeah. And the whole, also, seeing Deku would have not, have Inko there, because technically she is in the whole other universe, though she does exist in the MHA universe, though I'll just say there's a very younger version of Zuko, 5 years old, that is there. So, but that would never be in play. I'll just say this so you guys know. This technically is another universe, so technically there has to be 2 Zukus. So, but I'll just make sure Deku's kind of like younger, so yeah, whatever. And Deku and Izuku would have, moved his stuff in with his Natalia's helping finally because she wanted to help. Now, they would have been a question of why they were a little later than everyone else. Natalia blushing, saying it's nothing, and with Minna getting a smirk, saying, "Did you guys?" And Deku not taking shit, and not trying to, get his girl, or not letting Minna be a, bastard, and make his girlfriend be embarrassed and, insecure about herself. Bitch slaps the guy with a backhand. Him going back to his room with Deku just closing the door and putting a very heavy box into it. Him trying to get out, saying, "Let me out, let me out, let me out." Deku saying, "No." And yeah, Deku and Tally do get their room ready because they're technically together and they are dating, so or they are technically a couple, so they have the same room. It is slightly bigger than everyone else's because there are 2 people in it, but still. Now they have done the whole thing of everyone going saying of I should say like everyone looking. Deku's room and Natalia's room are not that colorful, but they do have their armors in it. And with some technology, kind of like wiring, because they do fix their own armor, because they are in charge of it, seeing they do own it. But with some posters and a nice bed, and yeah. I'm thinking it's pretty cool with, well, Shoto's just saying it's kind of like a military themed. Deku saying, yeah, well, seeing we weren't technically with her saying, I was going to bring, or saying that there is one thing I do need to grab. Him saying what? Her proceeding to get out a picture of them on their first mission, because why? They kind of were drunk after that mission, and well, picture. Yeah, picture. So, yeah. Now, him saying, but how'd you get that? Her just saying, well, I always had it on me and I kind of framed it. Him saying, wait, was that your good luck charm you always said to me? Her saying, yep, and him saying, huh, cool. And yeah, with Momo saying, oh, that's so cute. And they would have gone to everyone else's with, well, who won the whole thing? I don't know. Well, but whoever won it, won it. Now, we would skip to the next day of Deku and everyone going to class and, well, proceeding to go to school day after day, day after day, day after day. Until the whole sports festival. Now, Deku is allowed to use some of his armor. What armor would that be? He's allowed to use his jetpack. Actually, what? His jetpack and none of his guns, but only his jetpack. So, on the, well, them going to the whole sports festival, getting ready, Shoto still, not as a big declaration, but saying he will, out of respect, he will beat him. Him obliging and showing his own respect. Because Shoto and Deku have their own respect for each other. So Shoto would have not been as disrespectful in his whole declaration of war. And saying, I respect you, I will win against you. And Deku realizing, yeah, that and does accept his offer. And whole declaration of war goes through a little better, though, yeah. Bako would have done his whole arrogant self still against Deku, saying, I'm gonna beat you no matter what. Deku just saying, alright then, good luck. Showing his hand and Bako grabbing and putting force into it. Deku also putting force into his. And yeah, now they would start the whole test, or the whole, thing. There were rumors are going around with two, a boy and a female being quirkless that were in UA. And they do see the two people gear and think they're nothing of it because they just think they're in the support course. Because support cores are allowed to bring their technology in. Though with Shoto or with them thinking, oh, those two are, support cores, and they do have cool looking things. I saw on the mic saying, no, they are new students. I did come in a little late, and they are quirkless, which is why they are allowing them to wear their things. With everyone realizing it's those quirkless people. One guy popping up saying they shouldn't be there, and they're a disgrace to the whole UA name. Press Mike saying actually that's not true, and they could probably beat every hero's asses. Maybe except for All Might and a select few of us pro heroes that are very skilled fighters, like Azawa here. But yeah. Now Deku would have said, also, I am from another universe where I was in a war and we were soldiers. So I've had plenty battle experience, so I could probably take you on. And with one finger. The guy's saying, oh really? Proceeds to jump down and him having a, not per se float quirk, but a kind of feather falling. So he kind of can jump down with ease. Recording. Deku would have put in, with everyone being curious, because Shoto, Nezu stopping the whole, oh, let's stop them. And yeah, that guy proceeds to go to the hospital and with several broken bones. Deku not even breaking a sweat. Which Monoma does find a little intimidating, as well as the whole Class 1A and the rest of Class 1B. Now, Deku would have, been... Also, sorry for the cricketing, I'm very sorry, it's kind of like everyone's walking upstairs. Deku would have, done... use his jetpack on the whole Zero Pointer area, because Minai would have always said this, race, and we all know what she's going to do. Now, Deku using his jetpack to kind of use it as a parkour jetpack to go on walls or just jump over far places. And whenever he does fall off a building, he does use it as a booster to, essentially not hurt himself when falling. And he would have gone in over the rope test, been able to actually, seeing he's a Spartan and, well, very skilled, been able to balance himself on the ropes. Now, seeing Deku do that, everyone's kind of impressed, but quickly overturned by Todoroki and Bakugo. And Mei, because Mei literally launched herself up in the air and used her hover boots. Bakugo could easily just explode, and yeah, Todoroki using his eyesight to make kind of like a path on the ropes with a slide. Kind of. So, yeah. Now, Deku would have, well, been, well, not obviously winning because, well, he's doing everything manually and by hand, you could say. But, well, behind him is Natalia and them fighting for their own places, being the more or less fighting between each other, though Deku wins slightly with the whole race part. Now, how would he win? Well, seeing it was more or less a speed test for the whole mines, because Bakugo kinda exploded them all up, and then Todoroki was falling behind him, so it would have been Bakugo first, Todoroki second, about 5 seconds before they got there. Or when they did get there, they would have passed 5 seconds. Now, seeing the whole bombs exploded, Deku would have made a beeline through the whole explosions and getting there first, with it being a little faster than Natalia. And yeah. Now, Natalia would have remarked saying, come on. And Deku would say, it's okay. And yeah. Now we would have the whole Calvary battles. Obviously, now Natalia wanting to be with Deku, and Deku obviously obliging. But also Rocket does come in with Mei Hatsume. Yeah, and well, yeah. Now, how it's gone? Mei Hatsume would have, well, used her, gravity boots and her jetpack alongside, well, Deku's jetpack slightly, with them giving either a quick boost in the air. Now, with afterwards being helped by Uraraka when the gravity boots do end up overheating. So, yeah. Now, Deku would have obviously been on the defense, them all being on defense. With Deku, well, telling her being on the front with the whole not as many points because Bakugo and Todoroki weren't as well high. Were the highest, so everyone was gunning for them, not Todoroki, or not for Deku and Natalia, Uraraka, and Mei. Now, this is not a hero, I'm saying that now, just kind of like going off. And yeah. Recording! Sorry, everyone. Alright, I'll just finish this quickly. Sorry if that's being intrusive of any of you guys. So, we would continue. Now, Deku would have, well, been on defense for most of the round, staying in their own spot, though losing May's, well, headband because she was in the back. Seeing they were trying to dodge another person, but they got May's band. With Mei, but I can't speak. But the group still getting in, and that now it's the 1v1s. Now this would be Deku versus Shinzo. Shinzo would have tried to get Deku under his mind control. Deku, hearing from I think his name was Orjiro, not talking to him and quickly, well, taking him out. Because, well, if Deku doesn't talk and he's a Spartan, well, that's always going to win. That's always going to be a win for Deku. Now, Natalia would have gone in place of, I don't know who Natalia would have fought. I'll just say there's another tier, or another, like, tree of other people that Natalia doesn't have to fight. You know what? I'll just say, Kendo's team. Recording! Kendo's team got in. So, yeah. And, well, I'll just say Natalia beat all their asses. Now then, after, well, I'll just say Natalia not wanting to fight her boyfriend just forfeits. But also, Deku obviously would have won. Why? Aren't they both Spartans? Deku has more combat prowess and, well, Natalia. Seeing Natalia likes to be on a rooftop and shoot with a sniper rifle. I'm not saying she's not skilled with guns and any of that, she's very skilled. But Deku has more prowess over that than with long range attacks. Now it would have been Deku versus Buck or versus Shoto. Deku proceeding to realize he can't go easy on Shoto because yes, Shoto might just be using his ice side, though Deku trying to make it use his fire side. Now in this 1v1, I should say that Deku doesn't have his jetpack because that wouldn't really be useful. Why wouldn't that be useful? Well, they have a big flat ground, and yeah. The thing that would just allow him to be double jump. So yeah, now Deku would have, tried to fight against Todoroki, but Todoroki, having the advantage of having a quirk, tries to encase Deku. Deku proceeding to crack that cage open, but Shoto went a little too close, and recording. Jesus Christ, why does everyone have to? With Deku, obviously, being Shoto was a tiny bit too close because he was getting a little arrogant, and Deku took advantage of that and proceeded to win by throwing Shoto out because he threw him a little too high, pretty high up. So yeah, Shoto didn't have that, wasn't able to freeze himself a wall behind him. Recording. Now, sorry everyone. Sorry, my parents are being annoying at the moment. Now, obviously, now it's Deku versus Bakugo. Deku would have a massive disadvantage, and I don't think he would win against Bakugo, because Bakugo could easily just explode his face and burn him quite severely. And, Deku would obviously put up a, big fight, and, not going down easily with them both. Well, the only reason how Bakugo won was because he kind of used how to impact on Deku. Deku being thrown out the ring, but completely conscious, but still could fight. So literally, if it wasn't for that, ring, he would have, won, I could say. Him saying, damn it, I didn't get to fight you properly.